fellow Trek Chatters, I'm Pit Trekkie, and welcome to another episode of Pittsburgh's Trek Chat. Well, for today's episode, what I'm going to be talking about is Star Trek the Motion Picture. So follow me as I give my logic here about why I'm discussing it. So Star Trek the Motion Picture has been one of the most highly debated films in the Star Trek franchise. So basically, there have been a lot of complaints about the movie, that it's too slow, that it was oftentimes called the motionless picture. The storyline was obviously slapped together. There were different rewrites coming in from Gene Roddenberry, Harold Livingston, some of the cast members. So there was no actual complete script. There were too many special effects that seemed to take place over the story and over the character development from the original series. It was also very, very expensive. I believe the budget ballooned up to $45 million. However, despite the fact that the motion picture is actually kind of downplayed and not really liked by Star Trek fans, there are many, like myself, who actually embrace the film. Even though there were a lot of special effects, the special effects were very beautiful. Looking at the Enterprise in dry dock, even though that was a long sequence, just watching all of that with the Enterprise in dry dock in Earth orbit, just stunning. The V'ger cloud, the V'ger interior is just wonderful. Also, just the fact that it's an amazing thing that 10 years after a failed TV show, a major motion picture came about from this property, and that was never seen before in the history of Hollywood. So it relaunched all of Star Trek, and if it weren't for Star Trek the Motion Picture, we wouldn't have what we have now, with everything, with 10 TV series now, 13 different movies. It's just an amazing thing to think that without the motion picture, we wouldn't be here right now. So the movie came out to theaters on December 7th, 1979. That was followed, obviously, by it being released on VHS and being released on, for the most part, it was on ABC television. With the VHS and the TV airings, they actually added footage in that had been cut out from the theatrical release. And some of that actually showed some incomplete special effects, like when Captain Kirk's jumping out of the Enterprise dock going after Spock in the interiors of V'ger. You can tell that it's a sound stage. They didn't finish all of those effects. So there were some complaints about that for a number of years, for probably around 2 decades. Even the director, Robert Wise, was never fully happy with the incompletion of his film. So in 2001, the director's edition was released on DVD, and it cleaned up some of the old effects, but it also changed some of the effects and updated them with computer-generated images, and many of them were based off the original storyboards. A lot of people really seemed to enjoy that, but that was really the only outing that we had in terms of the director's edition. It was in standard definition. It had never come out on anything else. The motion picture did come out on Blu-ray, but it was the theatrical version. Last year, there was a release of the motion picture, I believe, on Blu-ray, but it was the original version. It was released along with Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 in a collector's series. But we've never had a big cleaned up version of the director's edition. Well, guess what, fans? It's not going to be like that anymore. Paramount Pictures has reported that Star Trek the Motion Picture, the director's cut, is coming to fans on April 5th, 2022, which is only next week, actually. As of this recording, it is Tuesday, March 29th. So it's actually coming out on First Contact Day, April 5th. It's going to be available to stream on Paramount Plus in 4K Ultra HD on different supporting platforms. So we're actually going to be getting the 4K edition on Paramount Plus. Also, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray is scheduled to be released sometime in September of this year. But that's not all, folks. We also have, on May 22nd and May 25th, the motion picture 4K Ultra HD is coming to movie theaters May 22nd, May 25th. Tickets will be going on sale at fathomevents.com on Friday, April 8th. Let me just tell you, and I'm going to get into this a little bit more in the video, watching Star Trek the Motion Picture on the big screen is an amazing experience. It's like watching the original Star Wars trilogy on the big screen. I will get to that in just a minute. So just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the kind of behind-the-scenes thoughts of this 4K release. So a team assembled by producer David C. Fine along with a preservationist named Mike Matessino used original footage from the motion picture and also from the Paramount vaults. And they also worked with a special effects supervisor, Darren Doctorman. And they used these resources to recreate the effects, the original ones, and the new released ones from the Director's Edition in 2001 on Ultra HD. Paramount Pictures has stated that the updated version of the motion picture Director's Edition, quote, looks and sounds better than ever while staying true to Wise's original intention. Also, in talking to StarTrek.com, Mr. Fine also said, quote, I couldn't be prouder and more thrilled to have completed the film in 4K. Paramount offered unprecedented access to the original elements and exceptional support, and the results are stunning. Utilizing the latest discoveries and innovations of modern film production, the Director's Edition delivers so much more today than was previously possible. It's an adventure you'll never forget. Hey everybody, sorry about that quick change in the video. Unfortunately, there was a glitch in my camera yesterday and the last tiny little bit of the episode cut off, and I didn't find out till today. So that's why I'm now in a different outfit. But anyway, getting back to my thoughts on the motion picture. So this is one of those movies that, as a kid, I liked it because I got to watch the cast of the original series reunite. I loved the refit Enterprise. I loved the refit sets. You know, so I got to enjoy it that way as a kid. Did I find it a little boring at times? Yeah, especially when they're flying through V'ger. But as I've gotten older, I'm 41 now, I've really come to really embrace this movie. I think Star Trek the Motion Picture is true to Star Trek's vision. It helps you to kind of think beyond just basic stuff that's brought up. You know, Star Trek was always talking about different political issues, racial issues, the Vietnam War, doing it all through allegory. It made you think about what was going on in the episodes. And I think that's kind of what Star Trek the Motion Picture does too, is it helps you kind of think beyond just here on the Earth. I mean, the movie feels a lot like 2001 to me. It shows space as quiet and vast, and you know, just the whole thing with V'ger, an Earth probe from NASA, disappearing into a black hole, emerging on the opposite side of the galaxy, being found by intelligent machines. They interpret the message of learn all that is knowledgeable, return it back to the Creator. They take that literally. They build the vessel for V'ger so that it can complete its programming, but in the process, it actually becomes so smart and obtains so much knowledge that it becomes self-aware and then wants to become part of its Creator, which is why V'ger went all the way back to Earth. All right. I mean, and then it evolved. The character V'ger actually merges with Decker, the Alea probe, and actually evolves at the end of the episode. I mean, it's just a big leap in thinking. I mean, they could have had it where Kirk just talked V'ger to death, and V'ger could have left, and that would have been it. You know, but it had us jump beyond what we would have normally have thought. So, and that's what Star Trek has always been good at, is making us think. You know, so I'm really looking forward to seeing the director's cut on Paramount Plus in its Ultra 4K clarity, especially going and seeing it on the movie screen. There's no way to watch the motion picture but to watch it on the big screen. It's just an amazing experience. So if you can go and see this version of it on the big screen on May 22nd and May 25th, do it. Don't miss out. All right? So that's basically it. What are your thoughts about Star Trek the Motion Picture coming out on 4K Ultra HD? Whether it's on Paramount Plus for streaming, it's on Blu-ray in September, or coming to the theater. Please put your thoughts down below. Obviously, if you want to check any of the videos from this channel, just go to youtube.com, type in Pittsburgh's Trek Chat in the search engine. They'll take you directly to the channel. You can also follow the show on facebook.com/Pittsburgh's Trek Chat. You can also follow the show on Twitter at PGH Trek Chat. I'm looking forward to the next episode. Until then, may yins live long and prosper.